Even more flame and explosive rounds, as it turns out. I've got grenades for days. Centuries, even. Oh, only one doesn't fit. Tragedy. Yeah, the big circle room is definitely where I do the final boss fight. That's definitely a boss chamber. Like, unambiguously so. We're gonna get a little shoot happy in this next room. Y'all ready for this? Nah, I gotta leave. Nah. I've gotta have at least one open inventory slot. I always regret it if I fill it up because it's like 2 steps into the process. It's like, here's the thing you want. Haha, you can't grab it. You filled your inventory up, you fool. Alright. Get ready for big final boss fight against the thing that's really fast. Somehow we're gonna win against. Hello. Disposal Center Protocols. This facility is to be used for the dissolution and disposal of test subjects used in Nest 2 experiments. The potent solvents that used will ensure that any biological matter within the vat, living or dead, is completely dissolved and ready for disposal. Please follow all safety protocols while using the disposal center. Always confirm that no employees are in the chamber before beginning the dissolution process. Always use the regulated amount of solvent, regardless of the volume or mass being disposed of. If a test subject reacts violently, do not halt the disposal process. Leave the chamber filled for at least 12 hours, then check for complete dissolution before draining. Yep. So I'm gonna kill Nemesis with some kind of, like, solvent. You gotta Breaking Bad this shit. The only way to defeat these monsters, because they infinitely survive, is to lock them in acid for 12 hours straight. And then come back much later to make sure that there is just dead soup now. Then hopefully when you flush the soup, it doesn't turn into another horrifying living creature of its own somehow.
What in God's name is this place?
Umbrella. Was that not clear? Hi, we're assholes. Ooh, more flame rounds. My favorite part about getting more flame rounds is how it doesn't take up any more inventory slots, because I already had a bunch of those. I'm guessing there's not a best grenade round against Nemesis, unless we're gonna do like a special, like, hit him with the right color at the right time minigame, because they gave me all of them, I think. I think they gave me every type of grenade round. So I assume they all do damage.
Than I do. I don't think the wisdom I've been trying to impart on you is getting through. Now I know you can't put a price on life. But I'm in this business to get paid. So let's make a deal. You go down there, battle the Nemesis, and I'll recall it all and sell the combat data. Put on a good show, and maybe I don't need the vaccine. Agreed? Good.
Okay, yeah, that's a battle arena. So. you could just politely die of the things I'm shooting you with, please. Okay.
Jill, is that you?
Carlos?
You're okay. Let me spot for you.
Good idea.
Spot for me? What does that mean? Ah. Did you just do that on purpose or what happened? Uh-oh. Oof. Oh boy. Okay. Oh no. That's not good. Yeah, I know, it's a boss fight. There was always company. Cocoon. Did he just... He's gone. Oh wait, no, there he is. He's in though. Grand Tank 7. Ah, loser. That's embarrassing, isn't it? Hello, surprise zombie, asshole. Gah. Goof. Okay, I don't think this does anything to him. That's bad. So much for chemical solvent being the solution to our problems.
Here comes some more.
Alright, let's do explosive rounds. How you doing, buddy?
Come out and play, shitbird.
Come out and play. Ow, dodge unsuccessful. Ouchies! Many ouchies have been accomplished. Okay, fuck. Some of them only have one button for some reason. Hey, the enemies are all gone. Thank you.
Got some more incoming.
No. Woo!
Number
Okay.
4.
No, I see him.
I got this.
Oh.
Not what I intended to hit. But I'll take it.
We don't need zombies where we're going. Okay. No. Please die of this shit. Like, I'm hitting you. Die, please. Pretty please. Oh, he just runs you over. That's fair. Okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Here comes some more. Look out.
Oh. Okay, somehow that didn't hit him. Oh god, no, don't. Oh no, I cooked myself and then I got eaten. Oh shit. Fuck.
Don't give up.
I think I'm about to die. Yeah, I am. Uh-oh. Cool, shotgun ammo for the gun I don't have. God damn it, it's so fucking hard to dodge attacks in this game. Like, Jesus Christ, it's like, it feels undoable. Did I win?
Jill! Here comes a crane. Use it to climb up.
Come on. Come on.
Jill, get back!
That's pretty funny.
Now get on!
No, Jill, there was ammo over there.
I'm gonna melt this fucker into mush. Okay, I'll meet you up ahead.
He really gives off serious xenomorph vibes in this game, doesn't he? In that form.
Nikolai, where did you go?
Just the eyeless, phallic face with teeth. And all smooth.
I have to get that vaccine back.
Alright, I guess I beat him. Maybe that's the end of Nemesis? As long as he doesn't escape the pit. Weapon spec sheet. XXXXX redacted. Project title, Ferromagnetic Infantry Use Next Generation Railgun. Development code name Finger. Chief developer, Nest 2 lead researcher, Cornell Garner. Assisting developers, United States Army. Ammo caliber, 60 millimeter. Muzzle velocity, 6,000 meters per second. Project objective, suppression of new bioweapons in case of outbreak. Additional notes. Extreme firepower provides secondary benefit of completely obliterating the target, leaving no trace behind. User feedback. This thing is totally rad. Tyrants out of line, just put the finger at him and nope, problem solved. Packs the firepower we need. It would even be better if there was a way to control the output. Mobility may prove to be problematic in the field. Perhaps its platform could be refined. It requires multiple power sources, may be difficult to secure in practice. Could you consolidate a single power source? A super gun that destroys tyrants. I get the feeling Nemesis isn't dead yet. Call me crazy. Seems like we might need to use the finger on him. Because the dedicated melt him room didn't work, maybe. But we won't know until he shows up again. Which I'm sure he will. Not the worst time to bring the shotgun back. I've got some ammo for it. All right. Tons of pistol ammo, even more if I were to... Oop, I could reload this and get rid of one of them. There we go. Even more if I bring my other pistol along, which also has ammo in it, because I don't think I can take it out. That's an ongoing frustration in games like this, is they give you multiple guns in a survival horror-ish game that have the same ammo type, but you can't, like, swap them out, which is really frustrating. You're like... There's sometimes that thing where it's like, I got a new gun, but I'm gonna keep using this gun and waste all of its ammo first, and then switch to the new gun when I'm out. I've got some slots left. Might as well. $63 saves. I'm a little torn. I have yellow health, so like I could heal, but like I could take a little more damage, except boss fights might do that much damage in one hit. It's hard to say. Have I died yet? Ever? I don't remember. These are very pristine and sci-fi looking.
It's done. Give me the vaccine, you greedy son of a bitch.
No. You print money. I like money. We shall make ours an ongoing arrangement. Now drop the gun. Have you ever seen anything so incredible? The data on this would be worth millions. But, well, you know how it is. City's about to explode, and you can't put a price on life. Good luck!
Nikolai!
Jill!
Go after Nikolai! He's got the vaccine!
What about you?
We're running out of time. I've got this.
I know you do.
Look, just so you know, this is the last fucking time.
I would love it to be the last time. I don't know if I believe that, though. I was totally right, by the way, to suspect that this would fucking happen. I was like, he's gonna melt into a sludge, and that sludge is gonna, like, recongeal into some other creature, basically. Am I even hurting it? Oh, wait. Oh. Shit.
Now we're talking.
Am I even... Can I hurt it? Like, at all? No? Hey, bitch ass.
Cooldown in progress. Please reactivate power sources.
Damn, it needs power.
Yeah, no, I read the document, I get it. I feel like you could just drop the gun and probably get away with that.
Did you? How about...
Ow. Okay, I probably need to heal now. So we gotta stun him. Probably by shooting these things. Right? That's not real. And that'll keep him busy long enough that I can push on this. As he regrows his pustules. Words. I don't like words.
Power sources remaining.
Hey asshole, don't worry, any minute now, I make things worse for you. You'd be very proud. Can I even get down there? I'm like up in his shit, and it's not a good time.
I'm gonna put you right back on your ass.
One power source remaining.
Okay, concern. Uh-oh. Alright, these are easier to break than I thought. I probably just wasted the magnum. Oh, yeah. I feel like I never really get satisfactory value out of the magnum in these games. So I was like, oh yeah, look at it go, and I'm like, I don't know, was that the right time to use it? I can't tell.
You think I don't know how to fuck you up?
You think I don't know how to fuck you up? Mommy like. You thought being the bed of chaos was gonna be enough to take me down?
Come on! Next time, take the fucking hit!
You can see the holes of every shot I did.
Good riddance.
Wow, I go through the middle of the wreckage and everything. It really is bed of chaos, apparently. Room's full of stuff, apparently. That I might need, but probably maybe not, because I already killed Nemesis. I have full health. A lot of first aid spray. There's so much stuff here, but all I had to do was shoot some pustules, so it's not that necessary. Yeah, I don't have space for you. Nope. Yeah, 2 of my guns are permanently out of ammo? Am I reading that right? Yeah. Am I supposed to go that way or through the ring of fire? I'm probably not supposed to go through the ring of fire. No, that's just showy. I think he's finally dead. But you know, these guys, they like to just keep coming. 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 Hang on a minute.
Away with that vaccine. I hope Carlos managed to stop him.
This is the same kind of facility from 2, but the color scheme's different. So maybe that was Nest 1.
I can still catch him.
Go, go, go.
Oh no.
You're not going to stop. Promised you this, didn't I?
No! Do you have any idea what you've just done?
No, don't care. My client ordered me to reduce Umbrella to rub.
10 minutes until missile impact.
The missile has launched. And that is my cue. Goodbye, Miss Valentine. Shame you didn't listen to me when you had the chance.
Hey, Jill. Any help, Jill?
Jill! Shoot him!
I can't! I'll hit you!
Do it! You have to! There's no other way.
I can totally not hit him. It's easy. That's not where I shot.
Hey, I told you I couldn't leave you in a Carlos's world. That would just be too cruel. What about him?
Shoot him again.
Why'd you do it?
There's a price tag for everything. Even letting the world burn.
Who are you working for?
I'll tell you, if you get me out of here. I'll pay you whatever you want. You're a fool. You're a fool! If I die, you'll never find out the truth.
I don't mind a little detective work.
Jill, you all right?
There it is.
Finally over.
So long, RC.
I felt empty and cold as the heat from the blast washed over us. All this death wasn't caused by a monster-making virus. It was greed. Human greed. I decided then and there, the ashes of Raccoon City would be Umbrella's ashes too. I would end them, once and for all.
Hey, Carlos survives. Is he in another game? I feel like he never comes up again, but maybe. Maybe he has like a minor role at some point. It really felt like 6 was like the fucking Avengers of Resident Evil, where every single person shows up. But I guess even that one didn't have Jill. Yeah. Final cutscene was odd. A bit. Maybe I'm just a little sensitive to this because it's also happening in other games I'm playing too, but just like this whole thing where like, haha, you've been snuck up on by surprise gun guy and stuff like that, and I'm just like, how the it's an open ass area. Be aware that people are threats, please, in this context. Like Carlos is somehow unconscious on the floor, but Nikolai didn't take the helicopter, which is what he should have done. He sticks around, I guess to kill, I guess he does it to take out the vaccine. But like if he just flew away, the vaccine was gonna go up in the explosion no matter what, because there was no way for Carlos and Jill to escape. So like once he won the fight against Carlos and knocked him out, he should have just left. But instead he hung around to have a final confrontation so that he could do his villain thing. But then like Jill finds Carlos unconscious and somehow Nikolai is instantly upon her, and I'm like, this is an open ass helipad. There's no cover. There's nowhere for him to hide, and he approaches from a direction that wasn't like, he didn't like pop out of the helicopter to ambush her. He came at her from like across the helipad on foot, and I'm like, what? And then there's that whole duel where he and Carlos are duking it out, and there's some cool looking little moves where Carlos keeps redirecting the gun to keep it. It's like while Nikolai has control of the gun, Carlos keeps it from pointing at him for like with a bunch of little maneuvers and stuff. So I guess they wanted to show that off, but like it goes on for like 10 seconds, I think, or just for a while. Whereas Jill, this like trained soldier character, I feel like she should be drawing a weapon the moment the gun is off of her, because like she wasn't disabled in any way. She was completely alert and capable in that moment, and it's just that Nikolai had a gun on her. So the moment the gun was off of her, she should have drawn, but she like lets them duke it out for a while, and every second that fight's happening, Carlos can die. Like he's very at risk of dying, and Jill isn't just taking the shot on Nikolai when they're much more separate and easier to take a shot on. I think they were even like having their duel in a direction that was perpendicular to Jill's perspective, so it would have been really easy to shoot Nikolai without shooting Carlos, whereas by the end there's a big like struggle about what's gonna happen. I don't know. It's not the biggest deal ever. It's dumb action scenes in a franchise full of dumb action scenes. That's like Resident Evil thing. That's what this franchise is. It's continually like the most engaging survival horror series from a gameplay perspective, with their like sort of Metroidvania-ish navigation design. It's not. I think it's not a Metroidvania technically, but it scratches the same itch that Metroidvanias do. I think crucial is that Metroidvanias, I think you're supposed to be able to gain access to new areas via new abilities. Like I can turn into a bat now, or I've got the plasma gun that melts ice or whatever. Like Castlevania and Metroid give you abilities that let you navigate the environment differently, and that's what makes Ori and the Blind Forest a Metroidvania, is because the abilities keep giving you new access. Resident Evil just has keys, generally speaking. You get whatever item lets you open the doors, basically. These doors are padlocked and require a lockpick. These doors are chained and require a bolt cutter, and so on. So you get like the blue key card, and then you can open the doors that require the blue key card. And the blue key card can be a number of thematic items that fit the setting of the particular level. So that's the main difference, is like, but like as far as if you're there for the exploration part of the Metroidvania part as opposed to the execution part, then these games can scratch the same sort of itch there. And the whole dynamic of like, you know, just managing your inventory and not being sure whether you should like run from enemies or dodge past enemies or shoot them and so on, and like which is the best thing to do because of the resource scarcity and the easy way and how easily you can die. That whole dynamic probably is done best by Resident Evil. I kind of expected Silent Hill to be better than Resident Evil until I started actually playing them, and then I'm like, oh, okay. No, the Silent Hill fans are here purely for the atmosphere and the narrative, because the gameplay is, compared to Resident Evil, straight up shallow. You get like a couple of guns, and you can pretty much just spam shoot everything, and like, they're not really particularly challenging. But I've seen gameplay of hard mode Silent Hill, and it's devastatingly, nightmarishly bullet spongy in a way that isn't fun for anyone, and only makes it harder on a very boring way. Because just Silent Hill just isn't that mechanically driven compared to Resident Evil. But because of the reputations of the two franchises, I kind of thought that Silent Hill was going to be the more all-around better package, but they're actually very different. Where Resident Evil is a better gameplay experience and Silent Hill is a better atmosphere and sort of narrative thing. At least if you want to have a horror experience that you can kind of take seriously. Because Resident Evil is schlock. Like, honestly, those movies feel like faithful adaptations of the Resident Evil franchise. The cheesy dialogue, over the top action, and just kind of silliness of it all. Like, I think it seems pretty faithful to me. It's not a moment-to-moment faithful recreation of the story exactly, but tonally it seems about right, and it may be one of the better adaptations that exist in video game movie translations in general. Which, funnily enough, the only thing that I would say has a better movie adaptation is probably Silent Hill, which unfortunately falters in a really terrible exposition dump in the middle of the movie, but otherwise was pretty alright for a video game movie. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Anyway, I had an alright time. I probably did like 2 better. Tyrant was better than Nemesis, or Mr. X was better than Nemesis, and Raccoon Police Department was just a really neat location. Like one to rival the Spencer Mansion. It's an ongoing totem of her hate. Total playtime 12 hours? Clear time 7:43. Wait, what? How to... Yeah, I'm going to ignore the top right number because that one doesn't make any sense. I must have counted some kind of pause area that I wasn't using. My clear time is 7:43. And from what I've heard, that your clear time in this game, which might be part of why people keep saying the game is so short, apparently doesn't include cutscenes. I also kind of wonder whether or not it counts like document reading and inventory management and so on, and map looking. I'm curious, but that might artificially reduce it a bit. Apparently I died twice. When did I die? Oh, probably early Nemesis. The only version of Nemesis that was dangerous. Like, the Nemesis kept evolving, but every single evolution made him less dangerous. It's weird. Like, he already had the perfect thing where I was trapped in the cities of Raccoon City, the streets of Raccoon City, and Nemesis was just sprinting at me and attacking me directly in a very threatening way, and it was just a very big risk there. And then after that, he's like, now I've got a slowly locking on missile launcher that really heavily telegraphs itself and you can dodge easily. And I'm like, all right, threatening, high pressure, but also less lethal than the last one. Then he's like, now I've got a flamethrower and I just slowly walk towards you. I'm like, yeah, once again, threatening. Less urgent than the last 2 things, though. And that's when you do the first real boss fight against him, is after climbing a tower where he has no ability to threaten you the entire time you're climbing the tower, because you just keep moving forward at even basically any speed and you'll stay ahead of the flames. But then the boss fight, the main thing he could do is that surprise thing where he could sprint at you for a minute. You're like, oh, fuck. Like, him suddenly being fast is startling when he was moving so slow otherwise. But you pretty much just dump bullets into him. And, generally speaking, that's just kind of what those fights were after that point. You know what I think about that final boss fight I just did? I kind of think about how, like, the game kind of lacked weak shots, like weak spots for me to shoot. Because, like, William Birkin with his giant eyeball having a difficult to shoot spot was interesting. William Birkin in general, I think, was a cooler boss fight because it was this, you're in this bizarre Counter-Strike shaped level, but much smaller, you know what I mean? Like a bunch of different hallways and a bunch of different avenues, and you're just kind of weaving around corners constantly, running from him while trying to land shots on his weak spot. And then every now and then, in all of the fog and steam, he'll like take a different path, and you have to relocate him as he's like walking around that path. Like that was interesting. That was more interesting than Flamethrower Nemesis or Gargoyle Nemesis on the clock tower, or later Gargoyle Nemesis again, but now you shoot the lightning things when Carlos says to. That was actually the same boss fight twice, wasn't it? And then the last part was basically a scripted sequence: shoot the 3 weak spots, then pick up the super gun. Oh no, you gotta do it a second time now. Wasn't they kind of dropped the ball in boss fights. Honestly though, that's probably where I think Resident Evil falters the most out of the ones I've played so far. Like at their best, there are some. William Birkin was pretty good, the first one, but some of the better ones were actually just these tense little moments where a monster shows up and you're struggling to dodge its attacks and just unloading into it, like the snake in Resident Evil 1. But like, there's not a lot of ways to iterate on that. You're playing characters that don't move very well, so the boss can't be super aggressive or it'll just win every time. And so you pretty much just unload into them. So I guess I don't know. You just have to pick the right duration of like, how long do I think this boss fight should be to adequately express the tension I want, or something like that. I guess that's the idea. Because Resident Evil 6 failed there. Resident Evil 6, especially in like the Leon campaign and not really all the campaigns, but Leon, I think, particularly has like a boss marathon by the end. They just keep throwing bosses at you, and you just keep unloading into them, and you have like there's no specific spots to shoot in many cases, and also the boss fights take several minutes to down, and you're just not getting feedback that you're doing damage, and so you just kind of start having that sinking feeling in the back of your head, like, am I doing something wrong? It's been 5 minutes. One of the worst ones ever was probably the final boss of Resident Evil Revelations 2. I think that was the one where I played that with Andrew because it was a co-op game, and like we shot the dude for so fucking long that we genuinely thought something must be wrong, and I feel like it took 10 or 20 minutes, and it's like, it was just, you don't want to get bored during a boss fight. That's ended up with me falling asleep in Resident Evil 6. Nothing in Resident Evil 2 or 3 was that extreme, but I definitely get little hints over the course of this game with Nemesis about how like the boss fights can sometimes be the low points of these games to me. I think it's supposed to just be a cathartic moment of unloading all your ammo. But mechanically, there's not a ton going on, and it's partly because the mechanics set of how a character works in Resident Evil doesn't necessarily work well with a boss fight. Like in Devil May Cry, it's like, here's my normal enemies, and then here's my boss fight, where now I gotta really put things to a test and really amp things up, and they're gonna push my crazy moveset even further, and my ability to evade damage and deal damage and maybe do mobility tricks to have to be in range of the hit spot that's not at ground level, for example. But in Resident Evil, a boss fight doesn't necessarily always push your limits that much harder than some of the normal enemies do, because your character's just kind of so limited in what they can do. I don't know. Definitely curious about Resident Evil 4, because that's the famous one that like was supposed to be an incredible game, although by some people's standards it's a horrible Resident Evil game, in that it permanently changed the franchise and to become something different, and even it itself was not what Resident Evil fans necessarily wanted. It's just that it was supposedly so good that people were pretty happy with it all around, and just had to deal with the hangover afterwards when it permanently changed the franchise. And we're still feeling that now, I guess, because these are still Resident Evil 2 and 3 Remake are definitely both very much post Resident Evil 4 games. whereas the Resident Evil 1 remake existed beforehand, and you can tell because it still is in the old style. Anyway, talking and all that, a bunch of that. Overall, it is just like a somewhat inferior version of Resident Evil 2 remake. Similar in many ways, and you know, its interface and items and interactions and how the whole game like feels and plays and runs are virtually identical. So it just comes down to the fact that like which one had better boss fights and maps and so on. And unfortunately, I think Resident Evil 2 won at all of those things. It has, I think its map was cooler. Mr. X was more interesting than Nemesis in its execution. And there's a few interesting or kind of engaging boss fights in 2, whereas 3 didn't have a ton going for it in boss fight land. Not necessarily, yeah. There's also something weirdly hokey about how it handles certain things, like in particular the hunter gammas in the sewer. You fight one with a shotgun, you're like, oh man, look at this crazy mouth coming out at me. But then they immediately are like, here's some flame rounds, they're weak to flame rounds, and then you just one-shot all of them for the rest of the zone. And they just become like a lock and key situation where it's like, I have the key, there's the lock, click, I did it. And like, they made them an incredibly unengaging enemy, and they were the dominant force of an entire zone, so that was weird. I don't think that Resident Evil 2 really ever had those kinds of weak spots. And they kind of had a better sewer, and a better main zone, and a better Nemesis. Yeah. The biggest letdown of 2 is just the fact that the 2 campaigns are barely it's hard to even call them different campaigns. They just have different companions, which then leads to a different companion mission midway through, and that's about it. And that's the disappointing part. That and how like Jill and Carlos were handled better in this. That's one thing I can give to this game. Jill and Carlos are handled better than Claire and Leon, because they actually interact with each other over the course of the campaign and have some kind of rapport with each other, even if Carlos does keep vanishing and so on, because they can't let them be together. Leon and Claire just kind of like see each other. They kind of have one conversation awkwardly through a gate while zombies are approaching, and then like it's like a meet cute moment where they instantly are like falling for each other because they saw each other and are like, oh my god, are you the other protagonist? I love you. And then they never meet again for the rest of the game until the ending, basically. And it's like pretty flat shit. They both spend more time with their companion character than each other, despite like the setup, the game treating them like they're supposed to be like really in like they like each other and so on. I don't know. It's weird. That click. Boop boop. Is there anything else for you to show me, game? Resident Evil 3. No, we're done. I was just gonna go back to here. Well, thanks for watching like always, guys, and I'll see you next time. And sooner or later, I'm sure I'll play another Resident Evil again. Either when a new one comes out, or when I happen to feel like getting to some of the backlog. Just, you know, lots of video game franchises competing for time, and Resident Evil's pretty fucking greedy with its like 20 games.